2 hands free again though, which is good. I look like a wally wearing it, I can tell you that much. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing on with the 1983 Harley Davidson Tour Glide. It's a bit of a riding project. If you've seen the first 2 parts of this series, we like to keep it on the road at the same time as doing all the bits of work on it. But today we're going to be trying something that's been suggested to us by another YouTuber who's also doing a very similar project on the same bike. But before we crack on and get this little job done, guys, if you could hit subscribe, could hit like, comment, it's completely free of charge and it really helps us out. And we have got a target to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So massive thanks to everyone who's subscribed so far. Let's crack on and get the job done. So I want to try something out here, guys, which is something that has been brought to my attention by Steve over at TTA 850. Steve is recommissioning or restoring a exactly the same bike in black, but his is an 84. Still had the enclosed chain case, but his came originally with an Evo, whereas mine is a pre-August 83 bike, which means that mine originally came with a shovel head. Now, if you've watched part 1 and part 2 of this series, or even the extended video of the whole lot, you'll know that somebody has, not me, but somebody else has already replaced mine with a Evo from a FLHT, I think is what it is from, the 90s. And so there's a slight difference there, but Steve has some oil leaks, and as you know, I have some oil leaks, so we have something in common. So we've got a new YouTube friend, and I really wish that the batteries were nicer to access on this. So what I've discovered through Steve's videos and through WhatsApping Steve, we've been helping each other out a little bit. I think he has the benefit of being in the right country when it comes to parts for old Harley Davidsons. So he has a benefit there. He also has the benefit of probably, by the looks of it, a decent roast beef sandwich, which we probably don't have that either. So, disconnected the battery, guys, because what I want to look at, what I want to take off is the starter motor. So I'm going to whip the start motor out and have a little look and see if we can see something that is missing. It's never been there since I've owned the bike, but I've only just discovered it with the help of Steve and his videos and talking to him. So maybe let's give you a quick rundown. So if you've watched part 1 and 2, the whole primary drive assembly has been apart 3 times now. Lucky me. So at the moment, I've currently got no primary drive oil in there at all. Nothing. Because even after all new gaskets, seals, whatever, nuts, torquing procedures all correct, it was still leaking oil. Hasn't let me down. I just topped the oil up and I've continued to ride it, and it's been great fun this summer. I'm not going to strip it down now in this video again. I'm going to keep it as it is. But I am going to have a look at a seal that we think is missing from behind my starter motor. So exactly the same as Steve's bike. Mine had an enclosed chain case. Now it's got new chain and sprocket. It's not an enclosed chain case anymore. It never has been ever since I've owned the bike. So I've been riding this bike with no oil in the primary drive. I give the primary chain, a little bit of lube with chain lube, and I've had zero issues. But it's still leaking oil. There's no primary drive oil in it. My gut feeling is that the crankshaft oil seal on this side of the engine is still leaking, even though I have replaced it once already. And I'm wondering if the primary drive is overpressurizing itself. It's been pointed out to me that when these are converted from a self-oiler system, where it had an oil feed and an oil return to lube the primary drive chain, which is what it originally had, when it's converted to an oil bath type of system, part of that conversion should be some form of breather in this primary drive. Mine does not have a breather. So whether it is overpressurizing and knocking out the odd seal here and there, it's a possibility. It always leaks from a different place. I'm going to say that. It's never from the same place every time. Every time you look, there's either very little oil leak or there's a big oil leak, and it's from a different place each time. So maybe that's what it is, I don't know. But what we're going to do today is whip that starter motor out and have a look. So follow me, guys. Let's come round here. So we're going to whip this starter motor out. I've already taken a couple of the rubber covers off. Got these, got the wires undone already, guys. You don't want to see me take the starter wires off again. If you've watched the other parts of this video, you would have seen me take most of this on and off a million times. I feel like I can do it in my sleep now. I've got different swear words for different bolts depending on how awkward they are on these. These ones aren't the end of the world. So you're in luck. No swearing yet. Ay. Trying out a new camera mount today. Thought it'd be a great idea. Don't know if I'm loving it at the moment. Got two hands-free again though, which is good. I look like a wally wearing it, I can tell you that much. This is the lower starter mount, so for the want of just using a standard Allen key there, making life hard for myself. Let's just whip that off, and yeah. So there's another reason why I just wouldn't mind having a look at the starter motor again, and that is because oil again. Interesting. So let's put that down there. Let's pop this gear off. So When I originally stripped all this primary drive down, there was a smashed up bearing in here, needle roller bearing. It should sit in there. Now, I ordered every single one that every single Harley Davidson dealership and Harley Davidson parts supplier could possibly find me, and not a single one of them ever fitted. So I ended up going for this bronze bush, which it looks like it doesn't fit because this is an outer casing, but the inner casing, it fits lovely, and I haven't had any problems with that. So that's holding up, so that's good. So that's a plus. But let me just move some pipes and maybe some wires out of the way. So, interesting guys, see the oil in there? This was clean before it all went back together. Scrubbed and jet washed and scraped all the dirt out, and now there is puddles of oil in there. So, first thing, Steve, look, no seal. I believe there should be a seal in there. I know there should be a seal in there now, and there isn't. So that's going to be how the oil's getting up here, and it looks all grubby and oily back there again. So we know that we're going to have some oil leakage there, probably escaping back through this hole as well. And obviously between the starter motor housing and the inner primary casing here, it's probably leaking out. There's no gasket. But the other thing that I've also discovered via talking to Steve is that there is, just here where my finger is, you guys are not going to be able to see it, but just here where my finger is one of the bolt holes that used to hold the casing for the enclosed chain case. It's not a blind hole. I've just used a piece of welding wire, threaded it in and kept going, and the welding wire popped out of here. So it's probably been leaking oil out of here as well. So the chain's had a good oiling, that's for sure. So we need to blank off this hole, and we need to get a seal in there. So I'm hoping I've got a seal. Let me go and have a look and come back to you. Do you know what? I didn't think I would have a bolt for that missing primary, sorry, that old chain case hole, but I do. Have I got a copper washer that will fit it? Splendid. Looks like it might be a bit of a drama. Crap. The joys of a gravel driveway again. There it is. So, bolt and copper washer for that hole that may not be helping the oil leak. So the bigger drama might be getting it in there. Let's try. So I've found a seal, guys. Had one of them. Bought enough gasket sets for this. I thought I might. I'm just going to try and pop this into that hole. I didn't even know it existed because nothing's ever been there since I've owned it. So this might be a camera down job. Come on, you little fighter. Decorating through the letterbox again. Love doing that. Right, gonna have to put the phone down for 2 seconds, guys. Right, so got that bolt in round the back, guys. I don't think you can see it from there. So the bolt's just there. That's in with a copper washer. Little drop of Loctite. Focus, there we go. The new seal's in. Okay, so starter shaft's still good. Just pulled a breather off of here, which is harder than a hard thing. So I'm going to put a new bit of breather pipe on here. But question for you guys. I've got this pipe coming in here. The oil filter's directly below this piece of aluminium webbing. And if I move some of these pipes and wires, you'll see that that has been rubbing. Be shocked if that isn't leaking. So this pipe here, you see it just there? It's been rubbing on that bit of webbing. It's rock solid, that needs replacing. If you know what that is, guys, is that the feed to the oil filter return? I don't know what it could or couldn't be. So if you do know, guys, you can pop it in the comments. That'd be much appreciated. Well, she's all back together. The seal's in there, the bolt's in there, starter motor's all back in. Before we put the side panel back on, let's give it a bit of choke, see if she'll fire up. So contact. Ooh, nearly. Turn it off because the neighbours will not like me. So yeah, she's started up. We'll put this back on, give it a ride, and see if we've got any further improvements to the oil leak. Probably should put some primary drive oil back in it before we do that. Good idea. So we've got the battery back on. Just gonna pop the pannier back on. Got these clips that just don't work anymore. And we got a nut and bolt for the back. Seems to work. Slightly annoying. Annoying if you're in a hurry anyway. So these side panniers and the seat and the panel around this tank there are going to be part of a, hopefully one of the next videos. I'm not going to attempt any more mechanicals until the winter is firmly set in, and now I don't have any issues with it being off the road for extended periods of time then, so we'll leave that, the mechanicals and finally getting to the bottom of the oil leak to a later date. So what we're going to do next is get these panniers off in the next video, get those over to the body shop, get the seat off. I've got an original seat to put back on it that needs a recover. Yep, it's got that. But what I've already done, which is something that's already sparked a couple of conversations, and something that I like, is the original fixing for this rear pannier was a lock and key set through the rear indicator into the lid. Mine were kind of there but with no keys, they'd been broken into so that you could get into the panniers, and they had like a button, so you turn the key, push the button, the lid would pop up. The barrels were knackered. I had no keys. They'd been broken into so that they opened. One of my pannier lids was actually missing. That's one that I've eventually been able to find in the UK. So what I've done is welded a small bracket onto the back of the pannier lid with a captive nut, and then I took some sculls, which were originally pipes for partying, I would say. I don't know, you let me know. Not my thing really, but however, I turned down some bar, put a thread on it, washer on it. Could do with a bit of lube on there actually. It's not very quick release, but it works an absolute treat and hasn't let me down. And we're all over that. And it's really difficult to get the sculls heads straight. So that basically goes through there, holds the indicator, holds the pannier lid on, solid as a rock. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I like it. So next video, we're gonna whip these panniers off. Both sides, you can see this side is the wrong colour. They're gonna go off to the body shop to be painted. Original seat back on, plus the panel round here, which is missing. And we're gonna take this off and probably gonna recover this to match all the original seat. Maybe even these bits as well, I don't know yet. So that will probably all be in the next video. And then we're also going to take a leaf out of Steve's book with some new grips and some more modern controls up here. And then we'll crack on with some more mechanicals, because this gear lever is, well, it's like throwing a bowling ball down an alley. So I need to make some bushes up for here, because they're completely shot. It's actually a lot better than what it was, believe it or not, but they'll all be winter time stuff. So for now guys, I'm going to pop some primary drive oil in it, take it for a ride. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment below, click like, hit subscribe. It really helps us out. So till the next time guys,